Our next speaker can best be described as cancer warrior. In the short 10 months since being diagnosed with cancer, she has not only been a patient, but a very determined cancer advocate. At the same time, she has continued to work, be a wife, and raise her 3 young children. If this isn't enough, she just started a local outreach program for a cancer group called Force. Please welcome Ellyn Davidson.
It was early 2007, and I sat down to preview a television spot our advertising agency, Brogan & Partners, created for St. John Health. In the spot, we told the story of a young woman who found a breast lump and was diagnosed with cancer. I always knew the importance of self-breast exams, but like many women, I just didn't do them. I went home that day and became obsessed with checking my breasts. It didn't take long to find a lump. Like many others, I rationalized all the things the lump could be. A black milk duct, a small cyst, anything but certainly not cancer. I went to my doctor and he was sure it was nothing, but he sent me for a mammogram and an ultrasound anyways. The mammogram came back normal and the radiologist saw something in the ultrasound, but she was sure it was a benign cyst. And she told me if the lump was still there, come back in 6 months. But 6 months was just too long to wait. Both my doctor and I agreed if there was a lump, it needed to be biopsied. So he sent me to a surgeon. I met with the surgeon and he too thought the lump was nothing, but he wanted it removed. So we scheduled a date for surgery. On August 2nd, 2007, on a Thursday night at 9:30, my phone rang. It was my surgeon. I was still convinced the lump was nothing. Everyone told me it was nothing. And I wasn't even really fazed by a phone call at 9:30 at night from a doctor. I told him I was feeling great, I was recovering well from my biopsy. That's when he said those 3 little words that changed my life forever. We found cancer. I was certain they mixed up my lump with the woman across from me in pre-op. She, in my mind, was much more of a candidate for cancer. But I quickly realized that doesn't happen. I was supposed to spend the next day with my 1-year-old son and some of my friends. Instead, I went for a bone scan, an appointment with an oncologist, a chest x-ray, and blood work. Over the next 9 months, I had 4 surgeries, 6 chemo treatments, MRIs, echocardiograms, and countless doctor's appointments. Up until then, I was busy being a wife, being a mother to my 3 kids, working, going grocery shopping, running errands, doing all the things that most women my age do. Now keep in mind, I was still thinking, how could it be me? I didn't have a family history. Not my mother, not my grandmother, not my aunt, not my cousin Elizabeth, none of the usual indicators. Because of my age, my doctor sent me to a genetics counselor. I met with Whitney DeCane at Beaumont Hospital, and we went through a detailed history. During the meeting, I did mention that my father had 2 first cousins that had had breast cancer, but they were much older than me when they were diagnosed. I had also just recently found out that they both carried the BRCA gene mutation. They drew blood and I left. Within 2 to 3 weeks, I got an invitation to visit Whitney at her office. Yep. I have the BRCA gene. Well, that added another surgery and a few more doctor's appointments. So here I am, I'm a young woman. I've got a young family, I've got breast cancer, and I've got the BRCA gene mutation. I've had breast surgery, I've had lymph node surgery, I'm about to start chemo, and now I'm going to have my ovaries and my uterus removed. All this, but I have a lot for which to be thankful. I am thankful that Brogan & Partners created a spot for St. John Health, and that spot made me find my lump. I am thankful that I had an aggressive team of doctors who urged me to remove my lump even when diagnostic testing told me to wait. I am thankful for all the money raised that has led to research for newer and better treatments for cancer. I am thankful that 13 years ago, science discovered the genetic BRCA mutation, empowering me to take additional preventative measures to ensure my health. I am thankful for all the women who came before me and made me realize that I would beat this disease and come out smiling. Most of all, I'm thankful for family and friends who supported me, surrounded me, made me dinner, took me to chemo, and took care of my kids. I've learned so much over the past 10 months, and I have so many lessons to share. We have to be advocates for our own health and vigilant with screenings. We have to know that when it comes to a breast lump, we must take action, even if it seems to be nothing. We have to understand that family history of breast and ovarian cancer is an indicator, and there are preventative measures we can take to lower our risks. We have to provide support for people going through cancer who need our help. We have to continue to raise money to fund research that improves diagnostics and treatment for all cancers. We have to continue to raise awareness and participate in events like the Relay for Life. We have to continue fighting and make sure people are working every day to find cures. We have to remember that everything we do can and will make a difference. So where does this story take us? Let's go back to July 2007. I knew about cancer. I was aware of cancer. When asked, I was always willing to write a check. I participated in an event or two. But I now know we need to do more. You're here tonight, that means you're already doing more. But what I want you to take away from this is we need more people to raise awareness, more people to contribute their time, more people to contribute money, more people fighting for cures so that our children and our children's children will know a life without cancer.